Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel. My name is Aura, and today we are going to talk about wholeness versus goodness, what it actually means to be whole and what it means to be good. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. In their essence, as a state of being whole and good are one and the same thing, because when you feel whole, you automatically feel good. There's no other way to feel than good, blissful, joyful, as you know that you are whole. The problem arises when we strive to be a good person, a good human being, because usually it comes from a state of lack. Trying to be good and wanting to be good comes from a state of insecurity. And this is what drives us into a state of constantly trying to be better, constantly trying to improve ourselves and to compete against others by comparing ourselves to others, which is what initially started and triggered the state of incompletion. Constantly wanting to be good, to do good, and to prove ourselves usually comes from us being told when we were kids that we are not good enough, or maybe we weren't told, but the behavior of our parents or the state of our parents made us want to be better. And this is for those of you who think that you might have had a perfect childhood. It can be that a parent was in a certain need of something, probably need of help, need of guidance, and thus putting you as a child in a state of needing to be better for your parent. Or like so many of us, you're probably being compared to other children your age or even bigger, or you were told to become something. There were expectations from your parents or from society around you. It could have been your teachers, it could have been anything and anyone in your environment expecting you to be better, do better, which inevitably led to a feeling of being incomplete. And this is why so many of us walk around in our everyday lives for years, decades, if not for our entire lives, feeling insecure, feeling timid, having anxiety. And it's not just us as children of our parents, but our parents are feeling the exact same way. Our grandparents, everybody, every human being is feeling this way because we've always compared each other in modern society. And that in its turn, it's because modern society is expecting us to be better. We are always looking to evolve. We are always looking to improve. And everybody is expected to step up to the game. And so instead of actually being good and becoming so-called better, you are creating a detrimental situation, which is a self-destructive one instead of a creative one. And so how can we get out of this matrix? Because it is a matrix. It is a programming. It is something that we are all suffering from. It's just that nobody talks about it. We all feel that we are not good enough. And if some of us are having a superiority complex instead of an inferiority complex, that is because it all started with an inferiority complex that made them so competitive and such high achievers that they now think that they're better than everybody else. But at the root of it all, there is still a lack of wholeness. Because when you are whole, there is no need to feel like you are better than anybody else, because you simply are. Wholeness is a state of knowing that you are whole, that you are complete, that there's nothing else, nothing more to achieve, because you already have it all. You are it all. You are everything. The strive to do good, to be good, and to better ourselves comes from the wounded ego. And every single time that we feel powerless, hopeless, helpless, every single time we suffer, the ego becomes activated because it knows that it exists. It makes it all about themselves. The ego says, yes, I'm here, I'm here. Yes, you see me, you feel me. I am suffering. Pay attention to me. So the more we fill up this cup, we empower the ego and we become more ego-based and thus more entrenched within suffering and more submerged within separation. But the way out of it is, again, through the heart, like everything else. It's by becoming aware of our patterns, by catching ourselves within these moments and trying to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Where is it coming from? And do I really need to feel this way? Is it really true what I'm feeling right now? Is this totally true? Or is this a memory from the past that I keep playing out into the present moment? Because every single time something happens to us, specifically when we are children, right? Because when we are babies, we are so dependent of our environment. We are so indeed helpless, hopeless, because we don't know anything about the human experience. We don't know how to survive. And so we depend on our parents to be there for us, to help us move through this human experience, to learn how to navigate it. And it is through their presence, through their love, that we learn how to be in this world. And just to give you one of the simplest examples, those of us who were left alone to self-soothe, we in that moment became traumatized, because we are not supposed to self-soothe. As babies, we are supposed to always be with the parents, always have their closeness and their undivided attention. If you look at any other animal in this world, such as whatever, monkeys, mammals, even other birds and reptilians, they sit with their babies. They care for their young ones. They don't just put them in a room to cry it out and self-soothe. That is what creates abandonment. That is what creates anxiety. And in these moments, because we as babies don't know how to deal with these feelings and these surges of cortisol that are inundating our brains, we disassociate. We separate ourselves from our bodies in order to not feel the pain and not feel the stress of having been abandoned, of being ignored and not having our needs met. And already in that moment, subconsciously, we begin to wonder what's wrong with us. Why won't our parents want us, the people who are there to protect us, to love us, to teach us about this world, are shutting us off as babies. And these events, even though we don't remember them with our everyday mind, we recall them through our physical body, because emotions never lie. And so this is how we begin to reconstruct ourselves to become whole. Because every single time one of these traumatizing events took place, a part of us remained stuck in that time and space, continuously playing out that traumatizing event from that time and space in the present moment. So what we need to do is to recognize all these aspects of ourselves and bring them back right here in the present moment, and learn to re-parent ourselves, learn to love ourselves in ways that our parents didn't know how, because they just didn't know any better. This is what all child psychiatrists were suggesting at that time. Just put your child away. Or there were all types of punishments and strategies that you should implement upon your child in order to discipline them. And now as adults, looking back at these incidents, we just go, yeah, I got smacked here and there sometimes by my mom, by my dad, by my grandpa, my uncle, my bigger brother or sister, and treat them as if they don't matter, or like they no longer affect us in any way. And then we walk around wondering why we have addictions, why we feel fragmented, insecure, why we have anxieties, why we have autoimmune diseases, or even worse, illnesses, why we stress, why we behave in certain ways. And all of our current problems can be tracked to the earliest stages of our lives, even the stages in the womb. Because as babies, when we were in our mother's womb, we would feel our mother's emotions. If she was experiencing stress, that cortisol was running through us as well as we were in the womb. And we wouldn't just feel our mother's emotions, we would also feel our father's emotions and the people in the environment surrounding our mothers. And so now, as empowered adults, we can take responsibility for our actions, for ourselves, by becoming aware of our emotions, becoming aware of our everyday patterns, our lifestyles, our choices, tracing them back to the root where it all started, and without blaming anyone, because there is never anyone to blame, And most importantly, we can never, ever, ever blame ourselves, because yes, we are a product of our environment, but then through our behavior, we keep enforcing ourselves as a product of the environment and the environment around us, enforcing the narrative, the programming that surrounds us. But by becoming conscious, centered, and breaking these patterns and deciding that we no longer want to participate in this type of system, that's how we can begin to liberate ourselves. And through liberating ourselves, through healing ourselves, we become whole, or actually we remember that we have always been whole, that we have actually never been separated, and that it was all playing out in our mind in the present moment. The illusion is always that we are not whole. The illusion is that we are separated and that we are here to suffer. In our essence, we are whole, we are complete, we are pure love, we are infinite knowledge. It is our insecurities that are limiting us, that are dumbing us down. Because the moment we begin to believe in ourselves, the moment we step into our integrity, we step into our true core essence, we gain access to the infinity of the all that is by gaining access to our core essence, to your true self. And I'm talking here from personal experience. That being that I came into this world as a psychic medium, or what people label as a psychic medium. I was fully aware of our multidimensional being. I could see other dimensions. I could see other beings, energies. I could talk to them, hear them, perceive them, know them. Never been afraid of anything until this programming started taking its toll on me. And as I started to have the impression that I'm being ripped apart, I drifted further and further away from myself. And that's how I started to develop physical illness, several chronic physical illnesses. I started to develop mental illnesses. I was depressed. I didn't understand what was happening. I was suffering from anxiety. I was suffering from all types of things. I was getting all these diagnoses. I was getting all these pills to solve my problem. Until one day I woke up and I said, what am I doing? This is not who I am. I just remembered who I was as a child to begin with, before this entire ripping apart started happening. And I decided to gather my pieces, the pieces of myself, to put them back together and become whole again, or actually remember what it is to be whole again. And once I did this, I regained access to the entirety of the all that is, to the entirety of my essence, having knowledge of things that you don't find in books, which anyway, most books are a regurgitation of someone else's findings and studies and so on and so forth. There are so many miracles for each and every single one of you to uncover. You are pure freedom at your core. You are pure bliss at your core. You are unconditional love at your core. It's all just a matter of finding who it is that you truly are, remembering who it is that you truly are, because you are never separate from you, and beginning to implement that in your daily life. So instead of living your daily life from your programmed fears and insecurities, begin to live your daily life from your core essence that knows who you are. And you do that by living out your passion every single moment of the day. What is it that you feel like doing right now? And I mean feel like do it. Not what is it that you want to do or are expected to do, but what is it that would bring you joy in this moment? And here again, something that I mentioned before in quite a few of my videos, it's not about addictions, right? Because addictions, again, come from a place of being torn apart, from not being enough, from not being whole. So if you feel like having a plate of fries with a burger and a pizza and all these things, then all of that comes from a feeling of lack. I will link down the video that I made on comfort versus free will and addiction, just so that you get a broader understanding of what it is that I'm talking about right now. The main idea to take from all of this is the importance of living your life in joy every single moment. Because when you do that, when you follow your joy every single moment, you become aligned with your life purpose, with that which you came here to do. And when you ignore your life purpose, when you ignore your life mission, you are doing the entire world a disservice, because you are a part of this organism. You are a part of the universe, of the omniverse, of everything that exists. And if that part of the omniverse refuses to do what it came here to do, it refuses to express what it is, its joy, its love, its passion, then you are not just denying yourself, but you are denying the entire universe, the experience of being complete. Because again, without you doing what you came here to do, the universe cannot be complete, as you are part of the universe, refusing to be. Okay, I'm going on tangents here, so I'm just gonna stop doing this. I hope that all of this makes sense. Now, my dog is asking to go out. The washing machine is yelling at me. And I was thinking of doing an alchemical meditation today, but I guess the universe is telling me to do other things. And I would like to ask you, would you like to have more of the soul alchemy videos where we're doing the meditation towards the end in order for you to integrate more parts of yourself and to release what no longer serves? Or do you prefer the shorter Zen being videos? Please let me know. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the comments below. Thank you so much for sticking with me till the end. Have a most beautiful moment of the infinite now, and take care of yourselves. Bye.